And we're here this morning with Brian Reynolds. And Brian, congratulations, champ.
Hey, thank you very much.
Winner of the very first, is that right, Kalamazoo Marathon?
Yep, the very first Kalamazoo Marathon back in 2011.
Okay, see now I thought this race had been going on a little bit longer than that, but 2011 was the very first one.
That was the first year that they had the marathon. I think this race has been going on, if I'm not mistaken, at least 35 years.
Okay, yeah, it's very well organized, and that's what makes me think that these guys do a great job putting everything on race day, and that allows people like you to go out and just fly at the front of the pack.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you've won how many times?
I've won the marathon 2 times. I also won in 2014. I've won the 5K, and then I've won the 10K last year.
So you've got the sweep.
So
the cycle, right? That's what they call it in baseball?
Like the Grand Slam, not quite.
Okay.
The half marathon is the only race that I haven't won. So
okay.
that would be the Grand Slam if I could win the half marathon. So.
Excellent. Now, what's is that in the works for you? Is that in the plans?
It is in the works, yep. So
okay.
I do plan on doing the half marathon this year at Borges.
Oh, good. Okay.
And we'll just kind of see how things go.
Outstanding. Now, let me ask you this. Do you get like a special number?
I do not get a special number,
okay.
no.
I don't know if you got number 1 because you're a past champion.
No, but I think they do it by the order that you register in, and
okay.
that's the number that you get. So
good. You know, I did a race a while ago, and I ended up with like I think it was Kalamazoo Classic last year. I ended up with like number 6. How did this? The first time I've had a single-digit number. It's totally random. Complete. I'm not that fast.
Yeah, maybe they treated you special or something, giving you a low number. Puts a lot of pressure on you though when you get that kind of a low number.
Yeah,
there's expectations.
Kind of strange.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit before. In this, you're telling me this was your first marathon, the one that you won. It
was the very first marathon.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the funny thing is I haven't ran 26 miles before the event. I mean, the longest run that I did in my training was 20 miles. And then the longest race, competitive race that I ever did was a half marathon. So going in, I had somewhat of an idea on what kind of time I could run, but, you know, there's one thing of saying it and the other thing of doing it. So well,
sure, especially when you get late in the race and you get into those miles markers that you haven't hit yet.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to sustain that pace all the way through. That was the big question mark.
Sure. And like anything else, training is the key, right?
Yep.
And you've got, I'm told, a heck of a streak going.
I do, yeah. So I haven't missed a day in running for 5,650 days, if I'm not mistaken, wow. Which is about 15 years.
Okay, I'm glad you did the math on that because I couldn't.
Yep. And long story short, I started my freshman year of high school because I ran for Oswego High School, and my coach is Steve Long, and Steve Long is still coaching. He has a great program, and he's coached like 2 state championship women's teams. So anyways, one thing that he preached was to be great at anything in life, really. You know, you need to try to do it every day. So what he preached to us is, if you want to be a good runner, just run every day. And that just basically stuck with me. So I'm like, sure, I want to be a great runner. So I ran at least 1 mile every day, all through winter, all through track, all through summer, and I just kept it going. And at the time, I didn't realize it would be this long, but
right.
Now that it is, I want to keep it going as long as I can. So.
That is outstanding. Yeah, and part of this, we talked about just what a great event the Kalamazoo Marathon is and how the whole community shows up for this. And really, anyone can be a part of this. All you have to do to run is get started.
Exactly. So Borges has a 5K run, 10K half marathon. I think maybe some people, when they think of Borges, they associate with the Kalamazoo Marathon. That's the only event. That's not necessarily true.
Right.
I mean, they do cater to all kind of athletes, whether you're a beginner, whether you have a lot of years of running. I would say it's very friendly of a race. They're very open to newcomers, and I think a good way to get started is to participate in their Borges Run Camp that they start early during the winter time, and depending on what distance you want to do, they'll help prepare you to cover that distance.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that can be intimidating sometimes is people go, oh my gosh, I can't go run 3 miles, I can hardly go to the end of the block. Then you start with going to the end of the block. Yep. Right, you don't have to run 13 miles your first week of training for a half. You don't even run 26 miles in a training program typically for a full marathon.
Yeah, you gotta start little and just build up from there. I mean, when I started running, it was like 1 mile, 2 miles, and I was spent. So I didn't do my first marathon until I was running for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So, but you don't have to take that long. But for me, that was just kind of the natural course that it took. So.
Well, good. And going for the championship in the half this year, huh?
Yep. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. There will probably be some good competition.
Yeah, there always is in this race. Yeah, and that's the fun part for spectators can watch not only you guys at the front go flying by and compete to see who's going to win this thing, but everyone is a winner who gets out and does this event.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, thanks for coming in. It's Brian Reynolds, champion of the very first Kalamazoo Marathon and maybe this year's half winner. Thanks for sharing your time with us today.
All right.